right? The National Scouting Director for PerfectRecruits.com, Roger Morales.
Thank you very much. I think it was your last year, and I had a great time last year. I worked with a lot of the players on the team last year and this year, and it's a treat, and it's really an honor for me to be out and do these type of events and speak to parents and coaches and teachers and kind of express my passion. I'm very passionate about baseball. I love talking to all student athletes, but I especially like talking to baseball players. I grew up playing baseball. I coached my kids playing baseball when they were young. I coached them in high school, coached them in college. I think I can say the words of Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa and I are like this. I'm the one over here, by the way. I think I can say when Sammy says, baseball has been very, very good to me, right? Remember when he said that? I feel the same way. I feel so passionate about it that I, as RJ said, started Perfect Recruits. Started Perfect Recruits with the intention of helping high school student baseball players obtain college scholarships. I felt there was a need for a specific purpose way, a specific driven way to promote athletes, baseball players to colleges, and I came up with this idea, and I've been perfecting it and going through it over and over again as the years go on. There are a lot of great, talented baseball players here in South Florida, right? I think everybody will agree with that. If you look at the different teams in the district and the conference and in your South Florida, everybody here is very, very good. What happens a lot of times, a lot of guys fall through the cracks, and a lot of guys that don't go on to play college baseball after being in high school, it's not that they can't. Most of the time, it's that they get unseen. They don't get noticed. So I take this very serious. I'm very passionate about this. I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy working with high school student baseball players. I always get asked almost always the same questions, and the one question that always comes up is, how do I get a college baseball scholarship? And it's a great question. I always answer it the same way. There's three very important factors to getting college baseball scholarship. And number one and foremost, starts in the classroom. You've got to be, players, academically admissible to a college before you can play there, right? You can be a great baseball player, if you don't have the grades, how are you going to get into college? So I'm sure your parents have told you that before, right? Parents have said, get good grades, right? And you always thought, what do you know, right? Nagging you, blah, 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 right? But they're absolutely right. College will look at your high school grades, your GPAs, your SATs. Very important. Does anybody know why you take an SAT or an ACT exam, right? I'm sure if I asked that, most of you would say, well, that's the college entrance exam, right? And it is. It's the college entrance exam. But it's the one, outside of your GPA, it's the one biggest determining factor in how much money we can get for college. Does everybody know that? Right? Parents don't want to pay an arm and a leg for college, and getting a high SAT, a high GPA is going to be able to make that happen. How many seniors do I have in the room? Seniors? 3, 4? How many freshmen? Right? Freshmen are probably thinking, we're thinking about college. You know, that's 4 years away, right? Or 3 years now. You just finished your freshman year. But it's going to sneak up on you before you know it. Before you realize it, you're going to be sitting here as one of the seniors at the 3 years from now banquet, right? I want you to think about this for a minute. As a freshman, you've only got 16 report cards before you graduate. And you put it into perspective like that, it doesn't really seem like a heck of a lot of time, does it? 4 years from now is 4 years. That's a lifetime when you're 15, 16 years old. 16 report cards when you're a freshman, 12 report cards when you are a sophomore. Everybody understand the math, right? 4 report cards per year. 8 report cards when you're a junior, right? You're a senior, you've got 4 report cards. When you start your senior year, you've got 4 report cards before you graduate. And really at that point, I like to think, I don't really need the first 2 to be good, because God willing, we'll get you committed to college by the time the last 2 come out, right? So if you look at it that way, you don't really have a lot of time. So good good GPAs, right? Take those SAT and those ACTs exam, take them serious. Get into prep courses. Get into study halls. Get into whatever type of course that you can get into. Your juniors coming up now. How many juniors? Juniors? 2 juniors? 3? Going to be juniors. Rising juniors is what I meant, right? Rising juniors. This is a very important year for you all. Rising juniors. All of a sudden we got more. Okay. All right. Rising juniors is very important. It's a big baseball year for you. It's a big college academic year for you when you start taking your SATs and ACTs, right? You want to be able to score high on that, right? I don't care how good you play. With a 2.5, you're not getting to Harvard, right? That's the simple math. You're not getting to UNM or UCLA or any one of the high academic programs. There's a lot more out there. Those are the 3 that came to mind now. You want to score as high as you can on these SATs and GPAs. If you're at a 2.5 now, guess what? You get more exposure and you get more noticed if you're at a 3.0. If you were at 3.0, you get more exposure and you get better noticed if you were at a 3.5, right? Same thing, 3.5, 4.0. So it's little things that you do in your high school career that make a difference for you when it gets to college, right? The better you are, the better your grades are, the better opportunities you're going to have when it comes to college. Only you can do that, right? Mom and dad can nag about it and can kind of, tell you everything and tell you all their stories when they were growing up and how important it is, but only you, athletes, can make that happen, okay? I know it's easy to say the class is boring and my teacher doesn't like me and she doesn't really give me the attention that I need or the extra credit work or this subject is boring and who needs PE anyway, right? Stay focused. Stay focused each and every day. Take as many extra credit classes as you can. Take as many extra homework points as you can. Look at every test as if it's the most important test and work every day towards achieving a better GPA. The next area that will contribute dramatically in your college scholarship quest is your attitude, right? Attitude, you've got to, what does that mean? You've got to pick your attitude has got to be positive. Okay, well, what does that mean, right? Learn how to accept failure. Learn how to accept that things are not going to go right, and you're not going to go 4 for 4 every game, you're not going to pitch perfect games, and you're going to strike out at the most inopportune time, and you're going to miss that ground ball at the worst moment, right? That's the life of baseball. Nobody's life in baseball is perfect. Bryce Harper looks like he's got everything going for him right now. He's had adversity. He's had moments in his life, I'm sure, that he might have thought, this is too hard, this is not for me, right? Bryce Harper, everybody know Bryce Harper? Right? I think it's pretty good. What do you think? Right? Pretty good. Pretty good. He's had moments in his life where he said, this is not for me. This is harder than I expected it. Dad's pushing me too hard. My coach is riding me too rough. This is not going to work out. Why is he successful? I'll tell you the one thing that makes him and just about every superstar successful is how they handle failure, how they handle adversity. And if you keep this in mind, the next 2 things in mind, you're going to be able to deal with failure because you will fail. Failure is not fatal. Nobody dies because you fail on a baseball play. Right? Failure is not fatal. By the same token, success is not it. Success is not the best. Failure is not fatal. Failure is success is never it. You work every day to get better. You work every day, and you focus, guys, on your process, not on the results. Here, I know it's great when you stand up on there and you take that 3-2 pitch over the left field wall for a home run and you win the game. That's the result. It's easy to focus on that. Your goal, your objective should be to focus on the process. Focus on the teamwork. If the coach lines you up and says, let's do some teamwork here, and you think, yeah, that's stupid, anybody can get a ball off a team. That's the process. That's what you focus on. Pitchers. Nice when you stand up and pitch that no-hitter, right? Go 7-8, in high school, and you win the game, right? That's the result. Focus on the process. What's the process? That fan move that you do, those dribble pins, the running, the long toss, right? If you focus on the process, the results will take care of themselves. That's what I mean about an attitude. If you're the first guy there at practice or you're the last guy to leave and you're working with focusing on the process, focusing on catching, what is it, 1,000 ground balls? Isn't that what the Major League says you got to do? 5,000 ground balls a day, right? That's the process, right? That's what you work on. That's what you concentrate on. That's where your attitude stays. And know that when you fail, and know that when you don't hit that game-winning home run, I need more practice, right? I need more practice. I need to focus more on the process and not so much on the results. You will lift, and you probably already have, and think about this in your minute in your life. Has anybody ever come up to you and said, man, you're going to be the next Bryce Harper. I like Bryce Harper. I'm a Bryce Harper fan. You're going to be the next Bryce Harper, man. You are so good. You're the greatest thing in the world, man. I wish I could play just like you. How many guys have ever had somebody say that to them? Not me. Right? The world has already made the determination, when I mean the world, I mean us in here, has already made the determination that you're going to fail. Right? You're not as good as so-and-so. You don't run as fast as so-and-so. You don't hit as hard as far as so-and-so. You don't pitch as hard as so-and-so. The world has already made the determination that you're going to fail, that you're not it. Okay? Deal with that, accept that, and your goal now becomes to prove them wrong. You prove them wrong. Okay? And that's how, going back to working on your process, focusing on the daily routines, makes you successful. Coaches will see that. Coaches will ask, how's his attitude? Are you talking about this kid like he's the greatest thing in the world? What's his attitude like? What's his GPA like? What's his SAT like? That's even before they start thinking about you as a serious candidate for their baseball program. So you're working with your grades, right? You're working with your attitude. You're focusing on failure. You're focusing on dealing with failure. And the third thing is you got to be open-minded. This is what I tell all my players. You got to be open-minded. We're not all going to play for Miami. We're not all going to play for Florida State. What's the other big school everybody wants to go to here? Which one? UF. I gotta forget. We're not all going to do that, right? The other Florida Gulf Coast. They make a bid for the Sweet 16. Everybody wants to go there. All of a sudden, that's the best schools in the country or in the state. We're not all going to go there. We've got to go where we are wanted. Okay? Because if you go where you are wanted, that's half the battle right there. I'm going somewhere where the coaches kind of let me think and kind of recruited me with the mentality that it's my position to lose. That I'm going to show up there and I'm going to be successful because I bring up the right tools to the table and this coach really wants me. If you go into college recruiting like that, you will be successful. You will be successful. It's about finding the right fit academically. It's about finding the right fit athletically. And it's about finding the right fit. Get this one, Mom and Dad, where we can afford it. College is expensive. Anybody know what college costs? Any kids, any parents here with older brothers and older? 30. How much? Yeah. 30? 40? 50? Yeah. We've got to go where we can afford it, right? Parents, we want to be able to go where we want to. We want to go where we can get in academically. We want to go where Mom and Dad can afford it. And the last thing we want to do is walk out of college with a $150,000 student loan debt and you're paying that until you're 50. Right? So if we can focus in on those three areas, everything else becomes secondary. What division, what location, does the team win a lot of games? All that is important, but when you look at those three areas, am I warranted? Can I get in academically? And is there money in here where Mom and Dad don't have to go spend an arm and a leg to get me into college? We can match that. And we've got a fit. Any questions so far? Any questions? Talk about college, talk about baseball, want to talk about the Marlins? When Jeffrey Lurie does the other one, I get that a lot too. I want you to take away from this here that you want to keep working hard. You want to keep working hard as you do in the classroom, as hard as you do on the baseball field. Kind of combine the two together, and that's what's going to get you to the next level. Getting to the next level doesn't mean playing for the New York Yankees or playing for the Florida Marlins or Miami Marlins. It's playing in college. It's about getting an education, and that's the most important part that we get out of this. If you're meant to be at the next level and professional baseball is for you, God bless you. It's wonderful. But my goal, it sounds silly, but my goal is to get every kid that I come in contact with into college to play ball. And if we can do that, and we can be successful, and we can get the right kids into the program, and get the right kids to work hard, to focus on the process, to focus more on their grades, to focus more on the academics, every kid is going to go to college. Because I believe 100% there's a place for every kid to play ball in college. I truly believe that. Thank you very much.